Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It is Caroline here from CraftyCarolineCreates.com. Today I have a very quick and easy but very effective project for you. We are going to make these little cute treat pouches. You can fill them with all sorts of things. They go well with chocolate, also little smellies, little tiny bath bombs, those sort of thing. Very easy to make. The whole of the DSP is hand stamped. Look how beautiful that is. Yeah, so should I stop talking and we will get on and I will show you how I made it. Okay, so we're going to start with some stamping, and what I have here is a piece of Whisper White cardstock, measures 4.5 by 5.5 inches. We're going to use Sending Love, which is one of the best value stamp sets in the new catalogue. So many different things going on here. We are going to use these 3 hearts, and we're going to use one of the sentiments, Sending Love. So I have mounted up these hearts. Here they are, and we're going to use 3 different colours. Oops. Real Red, if I can pick them up, Pool Party, and Tip Top Taupe. Okay, we're going to use one colour for each of the different stamps. So you got a solid heart, a striped heart, and one that's sort of like, I don't know what it is, like little leaves maybe. I'll stamp one and then you will see. So start with Tip Top Taupe, and we are just going to ink that up and then just randomly stamp this all over cardstock. I'm going to try and keep the hearts going in one orientation. There we go. I'm going to do Pool Party for this one. This is what I was saying. I'm not quite sure what exactly it is. Let me just grab a bit of card to stick underneath so we can go off the edges without stamping on my mat. You see, let me show you. I'm not sure what exactly that is. Kind of like little leaves or something, isn't it? Very pretty, whatever it is. Where else? Maybe one here. Okay, and then lastly we're going to do our solid heart here in Real Red. So keeping a bit of sort of classic love colours going on. And I say it whenever we do these sort of random pattern DSP looks, that there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Just, you know, stamp wherever you think there's a gap that needs to be filled. I think we're just about there, aren't we? Yeah, quite like that. I think that will do. Let me put these inks away so I don't get them all over myself, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay. And a little bit of tear tape. Flip it over, and we are going to firstly put this along the 2 of the longer ends. So just at the very edge. Don't stick your tear tape to your grid paper. And I love this tape, you just tear it, you don't need scissors. Just going to tear out that middle bit because it's stuck on my paper. Put it along here. Okay, there we go. And then down one of your edges, doesn't matter which one. Perfect. Okay. Now what we're going to do is firstly we're just going to roll this up. Before we take the tape off, we're going to roll it up. So you want to roll it along the shorter edges. Okay. And then we can peel off the tear tape backing. And just roll this up and overlap it by about 1/4 inch, 1/2 centimetre. Line up the edges. I find if you line up the edges and then you can press down, okay, something like that. And then go down to one end, so we'll do the bottom first, I think. So do the bottom first with the seam if I can get it off. You know, I was just thinking how easy the backing comes off this tear tape, and now it's decided to play up a little bit. Come on. It normally comes off really easily, but for today, there we go, got it. Okay. And then we're just going to press that close like that. Okay, press on firmly to close that, and make sure you flatten out the edges, because those edges remain rounded, that's where they tend to pop open. And then we're going to do exactly the same at the top end. Take off the backing from our tear tape. There we go. Close that up there, and then equally we're going to do this in the opposite orientation. So in the opposite direction now, squeeze that closed. Now I did forget to put my fillings in. Before you seal it, you need to put in your treats. Don't seal it up like I have before you have put your treats in. Voila. Pretty good, yeah? Let's do our stamping, even though this one is not going to get used. Let's do stamping for our sentiment. I'm really annoyed that I did that, but never mind. Bring in the sentiment, which is sending love, and the real red ink again. Here we go. Sending love. I'm just going to stamp that down on a bit of scrap wisp white. And punch it out using the 1-inch circle punch. There we go. Okay, and then I have here a scrap of Pool Party ink, Pool Party cardstock, and that is the 1 1/4 inch circle punch that I just punched out there. Then I need some of this beautiful ribbon. This is the stitched satin ribbon in Real Red. This is from the annual catalogue. I'm just going to make a loop with this. Trim that off. And I'm going to use a glue dot to keep that loop looped, if that is a right way of saying it. So glue dot to keep that loop looped, just like that. And then we are going to use another glue dot underneath the ribbon on the Pool Party circle. So this is going to stick down the top, just like that. And then a couple of dimensionals on the back of the sentiment, which was here. I thought I'd lost it for a second. Here and here, and then this is going to go up on top of our ribbon, just like that. And then I'm just going to stick it onto the box, and then we can trim the tails. So I'm going to stick it on with some Tombow, because we've already got some dimension there. I don't want it to stick out too much. Okay, and then we're just going to stick that on the centre a box like that. Okay, just give that a second to dry, and then we can trim down the tail. That is basically how easy it is to make one of those containers, with all that hand stamping on the sides. Really nice way of giving a little gift. They'd be great for Valentine's Day, but equally, you know, wedding favours, they would look greater if you've got a bit more of a contemporary wedding going on. Yeah, Valentine's Day, anything. Let me just trim off those tails. One there and one there. And voila! I hope you enjoyed the project. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to get in touch. You can shop for Stampin' Up! 24/7 at craftycarolinecreates.com, and I will see you again later. Bye bye!